If this is the day someone shows up with a gun and tries to kill us all, we practice what we'll do if that happens. Life or death.
The show 13 Reasons Why might have already said goodbye to its fans, but it has an impact that will remain with society for quite some time. The series not only got people talking with its controversial topic, but also how it covered sensitive topics such as sexual assault, bullying, and suicide. Interestingly, one of Netflix's most controversial and most popular series was never meant to be a series. In this video, we're going to talk about plenty of behind-the-scenes secrets that nobody knew about. So sit back and prepare to discover a lot of things about 13 Reasons Why. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Unbeknownst to the viewers, mental health professionals and therapy dogs were always present on the set. The professionals acted as consultants for the show. They provided feedback on the draft scripts and how to portray some of the show's themes. Dylan, one of the show's stars, mentioned that puppies were present on the set. He explained in August 2017 that there was a puppy hour and they helped the cast out. With the seriousness of the show's themes, it is always a good thing to have professionals around to help everyone who might have problems coping. Two actors had never read the book. Usually when a series is based on a book, the cast reads the book before they even audition, so they can get a better understanding of the role they are auditioning for. As fans may already know, the series is based on the 2007 novel written by Jay Asher. You'd think everyone got their hands on a copy of the book, but two actors never read the book. Both Dylan Minnette and Katherine Langford did not read the book because they thought that by doing so would potentially add more pressure or inadvertently make changes to the characters they wanted for the show. What they did took a lot of guts. Even though they didn't read the book, they both got the part and they both killed it. Viewers could not envision anyone else playing their roles. This is what most people in show business would call a method behind the madness. Katherine Langford was cast over Skype. Although this has happened before, it certainly is unusual because most actors audition in person. Actors go into a room and read a scene in front of the show's bigwigs. This wasn't the case for actress Katherine Langford. This is one of those rare moments in life when everything works out in your favor. A native of Perth, Australia, Langford was in Australia when the production was casting for the role of Hannah Baker. Langford, who obviously has an amazing agent, auditioned via Skype. Clearly, nobody doubted that she would be perfect for the role because she got the part without meeting the other cast members or the producers. Langford has an innocent beauty and a raw talent that was the perfect embodiment of Hannah Baker. She just nails it as Hannah because she is very believable, and everyone can't wait to see what other great things she will be doing in the future. Speaking of the role of Hannah Baker, Selena Gomez was originally going to portray that role. One of the biggest names in Hollywood, she is one of the show's producers, and she has deep connections in Hollywood. Selena Gomez had been obsessed with the idea of bringing the novel to life for more than a decade. When they began developing the series, it was meant to be a movie where she would play the lead role, but as the movie began morphing into a series, Gomez, alongside the production team, came to the conclusion that she was simply too famous for the part. They began searching for up-and-coming stars who could play the lead role instead. Looking back, they made a very good decision by relinquishing the role and having someone less famous play the lead role. Clearly, Langford is the best Hannah, and we mean this with no disrespect to Selena and her talents. The casting choices were perfect, and it's as if it all just fell into place. Navarro learned to drive in order to play the role of Tony. What would Tony be without cars? Cars are a large part of his life, just like many teenagers. Driving a car is a rite of passage for teenagers, and learning to drive is also tantamount to getting freedom. Tony is an interesting character, and although he is a baddie, he is someone who seems very sweet. He loves driving and fixing up his car, and he does both things naturally as if he was born to do nothing else. This is why fans and viewers alike were very surprised to find out that Navarro, the actor who played Tony, didn't even know how to drive before he got the role. He took driving lessons after he was cast for the role and became a licensed driver. Without 13 Reasons Why, he wouldn't be driving any vehicle nowadays. Not every character in the book made it to the series. Yes, this is kind of disappointing to those who worship the novel, but some changes had to be made to make it appropriate for the small screen. and one of them is cutting a few characters. When the writers were bringing 13 Reasons Why to life, they needed to create new characters to ensure the show's success. The books were used as a reference for Hannah's story, and from there, the writers of the series added some details and plots that allowed the viewer to unpack the story to a greater extent. For some people, it was counterintuitive to think that cutting characters will make the show more impactful. Well, that's precisely what happened. Each new character has many layers, and the characters give so much of themselves to the role. The winter formal scene took more than a week to shoot. This scene is the dance everyone remembers in the 5th episode of the first season. What most people didn't know was that it was a lot more complex than it looked. The crew wanted to capture all angles and perspectives so they could give justice to the scene. There were many characters involved, and there were many points of views, so the scene ended up needing more than a week to film. The cast loved shooting the scene because for them, it felt like going back in time to prom. Some evening scenes were shot in the wee hours of the morning, about 4 a.m. to be exact. This just proves that being an actor is not a walk in the clouds. You have to be ready to stay up very late to shoot scenes. The hours are long and crazy for actors everywhere, but if you love your craft, you have to be prepared to make sacrifices. Acting may look glamorous with all the designer shoes and clothes and numerous red carpet events, but there are plenty of things that the public doesn't see that is far from glamorous. Every scene in the series took hours to shoot, and sometimes there were difficulties coordinating cast and crew members. Night scenes had to be shot in the wee hours of the morning just before sunrise. Langford said that sometimes we'd shoot from 4 to 6 in the morning on a summer day because we need it to look like it was 7 o'clock on a fall night. Some of the show's actors have known each other for some time before they even began working on the series. When you work in show business, you come across a lot of people, and they go in and out of your life at different times, but there's always a purpose to everything. Langford and Minnette have known each other since they were only 16 when they worked together on the NBC pilot Save Me. The show revolved around a mother who suffered a near-death experience and comes back to life with the ability to receive messages from God. Although the series never got picked up, the young actors were introduced to each other but lost touch until they both landed roles on 13 Reasons Why. They were surprised to see each other on the set, but were more than happy to touch base again and continue their friendship where it was left off. Singer Taylor Swift has a cameo on the series. This isn't such a surprise since Selena is a very good friend of hers. The duo always find ways of supporting each other throughout their careers. Gomez gave her bestie a shout out on the show, but it was so, Swift that many of you may have missed it. In the background of one of the scenes, fans spotted a poster of Swift's 1989 album cover. This is what BFFs do after all, have each other's backs. And although many did not notice this brief cameo, those who did made sure that the rest of the world knew about it. Lastly, for those of you who want to copy Hannah's fashion, you'd be happy to know that you can buy her nail polish. For eagle-eyed fans who notice Hannah writing on each tape with her dark blue nail polish, blue is symbolic of a few things. The first is that wearing blue during her last days on Earth can be symbolic that she has made a decision. It can also be viewed as a symbol of the finality of her decision and that nobody can reverse it. The color can also be likened to her emotions turning into the color of heartbreak and sadness. If you want to have the same colored nails as Hannah, you'll be happy to know that she got it from the brand Sinful Colors, and it's called Endless Blue. We've come to the end of our video, folks. Which behind-the-scenes secret surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments section. Stay tuned for more videos, and we'll see you again next time.